All right. Welcome. Those of you that are live, those of you that are going to be watching the replay. I'm really excited to have you here. Thanks for coming to our first masterclass of the year. This was scheduled for last week, but with the Texas weather here, I just didn't really have a voice, so couldn't do it. And here we are today, but I think that it's very timely because here we are, like the first week into, or really, I guess the second week into the year. And I think it's a good time to kind of stop and think about things, reflect on the last year, and then take a look at the goals you did set for yourself, if you set goals for this new year, and spend some time assessing and seeing honestly kind of where you're at now. Like if you feel like you have done the actual actionable work to make some progress. Now, we're not talking about already have lost 5 pounds. Maybe you have, and that's fantastic. We actually have a few girls in our slave program that actually have, but if you haven't, it doesn't mean that you are completely off target at all. It doesn't mean that what you're doing isn't working. And so we're just going to look at those things today. So let me pull up my notes here. I don't have a slideshow or anything. Those clients, today is not a slideshow day. You're kind of used to that, but we're just going to kind of be chatting a little bit today. So what I want to do is take you through somewhat of a 3-step process that will help us all to close out the year. And maybe you've already done this, so maybe some of this stuff is going to kind of come to you quickly. But I bet that it's going to, you're going to have like a little bit of a different spin on things once we're finished here today. And so what I want us to do is spend some time thinking about what we did last year. Our clients, these EH girls, I had you guys, I prompted you to make a collage of 12 photos, go through your phone and look at each month of the year and look at the things that you felt like were big moments, pull out one big moment of each month and then put that in a collage. And so some of you have done that. But I want you to so there's going to be 3 steps here if you're taking notes. So step number 1 is going to be us, first of all, kind of giving yourself, granting yourself some time to honestly sit with yourself and dream. That's what this is going to be. So we're going to reflect in this exercise, and then you're going to also dream, because we lose momentum, we lose forward focus when we don't really have anything pulling us forward. Okay. And so most of us, if we're asking, since, what I do and all of this is really geared towards health, fitness, weight loss and different things like that, you probably have a goal in mind for yourself of what you would like to see happen here in the next few months for yourself or for the entire year. And so what I want you to do is, number 1, we want to kind of grant ourselves that permission to just kind of sit with ourselves and dream a little bit, see what feels good to you, see what you would love to see this new year, just in your life in general. I know that whenever I started really putting my focus in the future in a good way, appreciating and living in gratitude right now, living in the moment, seizing the day, all of those things, but also creating things and systems and little tricks in my day that pull me forward towards my goal. That's when I finally got my eating under control. I was able to change my body the way that I wanted to see it change, and I felt like I had control over that. I started to really understand nutrition. I was able to tackle the sugar cravings, tackle the weekends. That was a big hang up for myself, for me personally, every single weekend. All of those things started happening whenever I started looking in the future of, okay, what do I feel like is holding me back right now? And what do I want to see gone? What is it that I just need to say, okay, I am leaving these things here, they're not going to pull me forward, because the next best version of ourselves, our goals are obviously in the future. And if we are pulling things that literally weigh us down and like make us feel like they are anchors in a bad way in our life, then it's like trying to move with like a ball and chain, right, around our ankles. And so we need to first like identify those things, and then dream up, okay, what is it that we want to do instead? Where are we going? And so we have to see that we've got to be pulling ourselves forward. We have to be pushing ourselves forward. And when I started doing this and really getting serious about like my health, my nutrition, I really got into fitness. I started realizing, okay, like for me personally, it was kind of like, I want to figure all of these things out with nutrition, but I also want to like physically change my body. Like I want to see different things. And I started doing that. And then I realized how much power and control like I actually really had in this area of my life. And that if I set my mind to something and had a plan and just followed through with the plan, then changes would start to happen. And then what happened was I started gaining confidence in that small area. And it's not a small area, it's a big area of our life. But I started gaining confidence in that area. And then that confidence spread into other areas of my life. And at the time, when I first got into fitness, health, all of the things, I was in college. But then fast forward, I was into it, and then kind of started getting a little bit more into it when I had my first baby. And at that point in time, I was teaching, and I found that I loved what I did, but I just like wanted to do something else after I had my baby. Like, anybody understand that? You're like, okay, I want to be with my kids. And like, I started having like these visions of like I just saw my life different. Like I had things that were pulling me forward. I was like, okay, I don't want to be doing this every day. I don't want to have to leave my baby. I want to do this. I have passions in these areas. And so there were things that started like coming up that I was kind of like, wait a second. Like I know that I have control. I have discipline in my life. I have proven that I am consistent for things that I want. And I know that when I set my mind to something, I can do it, because I have proven that to myself with my health, like with my fitness. And I know that sometimes that can sound silly, but think about the amount of confidence that sometimes we can lack in understanding and actually trusting ourselves to follow through, just with food, just with workouts, things like that. And so then when you start proving that to yourself, things start changing. You start seeing, oh my goodness, like I can do this, right? And so that's what started happening for me. And then at that point is when I started like expanding my vision for myself, my vision for my life. Wait, hang on. Maybe I don't want to just do this. Maybe I actually do have these opinions and ideas and these dreams of what I want to do in my life. And that started expanding into other areas of my life. And I started thinking about these things more. I started putting plans to paper and taking action in my life. And so I'm only telling you that just to say that I see that it started with a little seed for me. And it was specifically with fitness. It was specifically with my nutrition, changing my body, making a goal, and then actually taking the steps to see it happen. And it started filtering its way down into every area of my life. And it really did. It gave me the assurance and the confidence that I needed, and the evidence that I could do hard things and things I'd never done before. And then it helped me to take the next steps in other areas of my life to start changing them into what I wanted to see. And so what I want us to do is kind of take a second. And if you're writing notes, this would be the first thing that I want you to do when you get some time alone. So set out about like 30, 45 minutes if you can to just do this exercise to help you to get things very, very clear for yourself. So step number 1 is going to be to look back and see what you did in 2022, like what you accomplished, the experiences that you had, good or bad. And the thing is, look at the things that if things are coming up for you and you're kind of just like, well, oh, I don't know, the last half of 2022 was rough. Like I went through this happened in my family, or I went through this personal thing, like whatever it is, like the hard times, look at that as the lessons and extract the lessons from that. Okay, maybe you learned here. Okay, maybe you learned there. Like for me, certain things come up for the year. 2022 was it was like a weird year for me, but I made a massive, the biggest business money investment that I've ever made in my life this last year. It was good for me, but it actually kind of turned out to not be what I thought it was. And so it caused me to have to like really make some hard decisions like a couple of months ago towards the end of this year. And that was something that was super, super stressful for me. I had lots of personal stuff. We moved into our house. I actually, business-wise, we met a goal that I set for myself personally when I started this business 5 years ago. I wrote a check out to myself and I said, one day I'm going to make this much. Like, this is my goal. And it has the date on it and everything. And I have it framed, like it's in my office. Where's it at? Okay, so here it is. And like, it just sits. It's sat in my office. It's moved with me. And that's like something that I set out years and years and years ago. And when I saw that, it was just a number for me. And I put it out there. And like, I've looked at it every day for years and years and years. And it was something that has pulled me forward. It's been a vision that I put there and I've been working for. We blew past it this year, or last year, sorry. We finally met it. And it was like massive. It was amazing. And all the things. So we had a lot of good things. We had a lot of things business-wise, personal-wise, that like have caused me to grow quite a bit. And so it doesn't all have to be good. It doesn't all have to be rainbows and sunshine. It can be like the really hard things too. And so look at those things and kind of list them out for yourself. Just take a few minutes and say, okay, here's what we did. These are the good things. This is what I accomplished. Like, these are the things that I learned in the year. That's going to be step number 1. And then step number 2 is a fun step. So this is something you can do like by yourself personally. You can do this with your family. You can do this like with your kids. You can do this with your girlfriend, whatever you want to do. Christopher and I did it. We didn't do it like to this capacity, and I kind of wish we would have. And I'm thinking about doing it with the boys also, because what I want to do is, my goal is I want to make dreaming and like that forward thinking and creating goals, and creating things and putting things out there that pull my family forward. I want to make that normal in my house, in our lives, for my kids. Like, I feel like I didn't grow up like feeling like that always. Like I've always been like a big dreamer, but it was never like, I don't know. I want that to be like a thing and something that is normal for us. And so you can do this with your kids or share these things with your kids, kind of get it out of them too. And so I want you to start creating either a vision board. If you're like a visual person and you like doing that and you like kind of like the arts and crafts of things, you can make it, to where you are actually like physically doing it. You can do it with a collage app. It doesn't matter what it is, but what I want you, or you can just list things out, whatever like makes sense for you and whatever works for you. But what is it that you wish to accomplish this year? What are the things? And really think about that. You know, what do you want to do with your family, with your kids this year? Like, what experiences do you want to have? For us, it was when Christopher and I did it and we looked back, I was kind of like, you know what? I want to do things more as a family unit, like just us, that we take the initiative and we go and we have experiences with our kids and we take them out and we do things and we do this and we do that. And like, we actually get out and do those things. That was something for us. Business wise, we have a lot of things. Like, I have a lot of very specific goals that we have for this coming year too. And so get specific for yourself. It can be for your job. put something in there spiritually, hit the categories of your life, those important categories of your life, and include them in there. And even if you feel like this is silly and you're not really, much of a kind of like goal setting person, what this is going to do is it's going to make your mind go there, and it's going to pull you forward. And then you're going to start thinking of those things. And if you can put this list, if you can put this collage up somewhere where you see it, maybe in your closet, bathroom mirror, something like that, it's going to start becoming ingrained in you. And then you are going to become much more of a forward thinker, much more of a goal setter than you might feel like you are right now. Okay. And so there have totally been times in my life where I feel like, oh yeah, like I'm on fire, like I am gung ho, and I am like totally in all the feels, and I'm thinking about it all. And then there's times where it's just kind of like, I don't know, like I don't feel like I'm super pulled forward or propelled forward or anything like that. And that's okay. And that's normal. But these things can help us to not stay stuck in the mundane. And remember, I talked about gratitude. You don't hear me wrong. I'm not saying don't be satisfied where you're at, because the key is you have to be satisfied where you're at. We're supposed to find joy, gratitude. Like we have to be people that are grateful and thankful, and that we have gratitude with one step in, we're walking with one step in gratitude. Every single day, we are grateful. We have joy. We have a purpose. We are living in the moment in our lives. And then the next step is pulling us forward to where we want to go. And if we can find that rhythm in our life and walk that way, then we will find that we are always expanding, that we are loving our lives, living in the moment, but that we are also actually reaching our goals, and that we can see that we're moving forward in our lives. And I have found it. It has happened with me. And I know it happens with everyone, to where we just kind of wake up and we look up one moment and we realize, oh my goodness, like I've kind of been complacent. Like I feel like a bump on a log. I'm saying that I want to do these things. I've wanted to start that side hustle. I've wanted to get involved in a group at church and like start making more girlfriends. I've wanted to put myself out there more, or I've wanted to start reading and I still have yet to pick up a book. I've wanted to lose 30 pounds and I still haven't done it. I've wanted to learn to cook and I've still not done it. Like we're all like, I'm sure we can name all the things that where we're at right now that has kept us stuck. And we have all these, I've wanted to, but I've never done them. And so this step is important. I want you to specifically include, since we are here and we are really talking about our health and fitness and body goals and like moving forward in that, I want you to include like maybe an outfit that you want to wear, or cute, just some kind of a cute clothes or whatever it is that you're like, oh my gosh, yes, like that's what I want to wear that. I want to feel amazing in that. I want to be super confident in that. And then I want you to also include some words that would describe how you want to feel physically, like emotionally in your body when you reach your goal, your weight loss goal, your, maybe you just want to tone up, or maybe you want to build muscle, like whatever it is, put that out there specifically. If the more specific you can get, the better it's going to be, because that makes pathways in your brain, that makes pathways in your brain to where you've already gone there. You create the thought. And then when we create the thought over and over and over again, every single day, then we can start to not always just see it as a far off reality. Like for me, like for instance, this was a far off reality for me years and years and years ago. It's just something I put out there at some point in time. Over time though, I've looked at this and looked at this and looked at this, and I've taken action steps. I've invested in coaching in myself. I have leveled up in many, many ways. I have made more mistakes than I've done things right, but I always got back up, and I'm still getting back up. And here I am today, continuing to put one foot in front of the other and move forward. That is what makes you gain confidence in yourself and see that you can accomplish the things that you want to accomplish in your life. It's literally putting it out there, seeing it, and then taking action steps to get there. And honestly, being okay with however long it takes to get there also. That's a really key and crucial part of it, is saying either way, I know I'm going to fail. I know I'm going to mess up. I know I'm going to stop and start at some point. I'm going to feel like it on some days. Other days, I'm not going to feel like it. But I'm going to have this like unconditional love for myself. I'm not going to judge myself for it. I'm just going to keep moving forward. And that is what is going to create that consistency in your day and in your life. So I want you to sit down and I want you to write some of these things and create a vision for the year. You might already have it and you might know it, and then you just need to get it out on paper. Get creative, get your creative juices flowing, get it on paper, and then put it somewhere so that you can see it. And that is going to start pulling you forward and showing you every single day counts. This is a quote that I shared with our clients yesterday on a live that I did. It says, the courage that you have today reaps the results that you will have tomorrow. So today counts. Every day counts for yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to be on your A game every day, but it means that the steps you take today and the courage that you do have today, to go all in on yourself and your goals, and to just believe in yourself that you can do it, it will result in the results that you have tomorrow and the next day and the next day, because it all compounds with each other and it all ends up kind of snowballing together. Okay. So get as specific as you can. And you can give your goals a timeline, but make sure it's reasonable. Make sure that it's something that, let's say that somebody comes, just because we're here with and the focus is health and fitness. Let's say somebody comes to me and they have 80 pounds to lose. And they're like, okay, Brittany, I want to lose 80 pounds. Tell me what to do. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. 100% doable, done. We can absolutely do it. You can absolutely do it. You can do that. Okay. But I want to lose it in 4 weeks. And I'm gonna say, oh, well, hold on. Let's back up and let's look at this. That would not be like a measurable goal, like a realistic goal. So instead, what we can do is say, that's still the goal, but let's stretch that timeline out. Let's make it realistic. Let's make it something that you still enjoy in the process of it, and you will still enjoy your life, and you will learn along the way, and you will grow along the way. By you losing that 80 pounds, you are also becoming a new person, or you're just becoming that much more you. I think I like that better. You're just becoming that much more you. Yes, Fallon. See, there we go. So you just come out. That's what it is. And along the way, it's like, you're like, oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. And then when you look back, you're like, oh, thank goodness I did it that way. And I learned to actually enjoy the process as I was doing it, because I wouldn't trade those lessons for anything, because that actually created more character in me, right? It made me believe so much more in myself, right? Y'all, whenever I quit my teaching job, I literally had no clue. Well, that's not true. I had started a side little hustle on Etsy, and I was doing it, and I would wake up early in the morning and do it before school, and I would come home and I would do it after school, and I would do all the things. But I had no massive plan. I just said, I'm not going back. I've started this. I believe in myself. I know I can do it. I had proven the consistency with myself, and I just did it. And it all started though, personally, I can say this for myself. I truly know that it all started with just setting a goal, however small or big it was, just setting a goal and then actually completing that goal. If it's saying I'm going to get up and walk for 20 minutes today, and I put it on my planner, just get up and walk for 20 minutes today. You are right then and there increasing your confidence in yourself. You're creating evidence that you can count on yourself. That's what that is. And I know that for so often, and so many of us doing crazy things, reaching our goals, we spend so much time in lack and feeling like, I don't know if I can actually do this. I'm scared to, set that goal out there, because what if I fail? What if I don't don't do it? What if I don't follow through? But if you start with the little things and just realize that those little things are creating evidence for you that you can reach your goals, that you can change your life, you can set a goal and say, I want my life to look like this in the future. And then just start doing the daily little things that will support and give you evidence that you can do hard things. So spend some time in that, like get a playlist going, get some music on, get some wine, like whatever you want to do. And like really just get creative and have fun with it and spend time dreaming up your life and your goals. That's going to be number 2. Number 3 has 2 parts. And this is the last little step for us. So the first, and this is really powerful. So the first part is I want you to take a blank piece of paper. When you do this, you can do it now, you don't have to, whatever. But when you do this, take a blank piece of paper and then fold it in half. Let's see. Fold it in half. And I want to take your health goal right now. Like I want to take your weight loss goal, your body goal, whatever you want to call it, whatever your goal is. I want you to take that. And that's what we're talking about right now. And so on the left side of the paper, I want you to write down, this is going to be like a brain dump for you. And I don't want you to have a filter. I just want you to like put music on. I want you to put a timer on for like 10 minutes. And you literally just write out everything that comes to your mind of every reason why you cannot reach that goal. Like why you think you can't do it. If let's just say the goal is losing 30 pounds. Okay. What's every reason? Just start putting it all out there. What's the reasons you feel like you can't do it? Maybe you've tried in the past, inconsistent, confused, too tired, no energy, no time, no drive, like whatever comes to mind, just put it here. Just do a big old brain dump and just get it out. And you don't have to have a filter of like trying to be positive and all of that. Like just get it out on the paper. Okay. Or you're busy, you have 5 kids, you've tried everything. You just feel like, mentally you're just at a place where you're giving up, like whatever the case may be, just write it all down and do a big old brain dump. Okay. So then once you feel like you've like gotten everything out and you're like, okay, all right, here we go. I've exhausted all of the things. These are all the reasons why I cannot do this. All the reasons why it's not going to work for me. On the other side, what I want you to do is switch gears. And I want you to go through every objection that you wrote down. And I want you to give a solution for it, like just a logical solution. It doesn't have to be super long, doesn't have to be massive. It can be simple. Like, let's see, let's think of one. Let's just use like tired, like no energy. It's just coming to mind. For example, so I might say like, I don't have energy to work out. Well, then on the opposite side, I would write down just a reasonable solution for that. Well, no energy to work out. Let's see. I can create a routine that will make sure that I'm getting like 7 to 9 hours of sleep at night, right? Like I can do that. I can back it up and I can create a buffer for me so that I can actually wind down at night. I can stop drinking caffeine earlier in the day. Or I can really work on a bedtime routine for the kids so that I can have time to wind down so that I can make sure that I'm getting my sleep in. And then set, your ideal bedtime and wake time. We know that might not happen all the time, but I think sometimes when we have it in our brain, okay, 8 o'clock, I get the kids down. 8 to 9, I'm winding down, we're hanging out, me and husband, like we're whatever, we take a shower, like all the things. And then by this time I'm winding down, I'm going to actually put my phone away and I'm going to make sure that I get this sleep. And I'm going to actually take a look and monitor the amount of sleep that I'm getting. And can you see how like that takes a oh, I don't have time. Or I'm sorry, oh, I don't have energy. Like, I'm so tired, I can't do it. I have no energy. I never feel energized enough to, okay, let me actually take it from like being outer space and crazy and overwhelming to let's actually make a plan with it. And you can make a plan with it and you can break it down. And that right there is going to give you that list. When you go down this side of the paper and you go down your list, that list is going to give you several actionable, realistic things that you can do to actually start to increase the confidence in yourself to reach your goal. And you will find that you will feel so much less overwhelmed in your day, and that you will feel like all of these things that you listed out are just all these overwhelming thoughts. But if we put to paper over here and we actually have a plan of, okay, this is what I can do, or I don't know what to eat. Another example, like I have no idea what to eat. I get overwhelmed. I don't like to cook. Okay, well, instead of just saying that and letting it stop there, what are actionable steps that you can take? What's the solution on the other side of the paper? All right, there's multiple things I can do, right? I can find healthy recipes. I can create a grocery list, and I can actually set a time, and I can go to the store, and then I can create a time that I actually stop every day and make dinner. I can put a little sticky on my fridge and I can plan dinners out for the week. Or I can do a meal prep service, or like the home chef. Like, there's so many things that we can do that can actually give us solutions to our problems. And this will be catered to you. This will be very specific for you. And so just see what comes up and see what actually comes out for you. And then take it from there and say, okay, well, here we are. It's the second week of the year. I might be feeling like I'm still a little scatterbrained for wanting to lose the 30 pounds. That's the goal, but I still don't feel like maybe I still don't have the rhythm down to like feel like I'm actually doing something to lose the weight and to take the action to get there. Start here and then start checking off the list. If you need some help with things, if you need to do like the click it and have like, your groceries like online order or have them delivered to your house, instead of like if you don't have the time, instead of taking the time out to actually go shopping, do that. Start there. That will save you so much, and that will save you time. It will save you your brain capacity also, and you will feel like you're starting to have your ducks in a row and you're starting to get things together. And then take that list and literally just start doing the things, right? Plan it out. Say, I'm going to tackle this week. I'm going to take 2 of these things and I'm going to tackle it this week. I'm going to put it on my to-do, and all I'm going to do is put it on my list, and I'm not going to make it any more complicated than it needs to be. I'm just literally going to do it, and I'm going to cross it off. That's it. And you're going to start stacking up the evidence in your life, in your day, that you can actually accomplish the goals that you want to set for yourself. And you can do that in other areas of your life also. But if we're talking your weight, if we're talking about your health, there are several actionable things that you can do that will help you put one foot in front of the other and get you moving. And what I would suggest, I know sometimes it seems like, for me, planning out an entire year of stuff is like a lot. I don't do that with my business. I don't like do that with our family. Like I put out like dreams for the whole year, but I like to back it up and do in like quarters, right? And so the first 3 months of the year. So focus in on that. Like, what do you want to accomplish? What are the things that you want to get done in the first 3 months of the year? Is it realistic? What do you need to actually make it happen? What do you physically need to do? What are the steps that you need to take to make those things happen? And just start there. And this 3-part exercise is honestly going to take the overwhelm of starting a new year, the overwhelm of thinking, oh my gosh, like I still haven't, I said I wanted to do that or lose that weight. And like, maybe I've lost some of it, which is fantastic. Keep at it. You can lose all of it. Or maybe you haven't started on it, but this will help you to narrow those things down and stop feeling too overwhelmed with things. Okay. And to narrow it down and to kind of put the blinders on and say, okay, actually, all I need to do is this. If I feel like I have no time to cook, actually, instead of that, or to eat healthy, this is what I need to do. I just need to make a plan and do this. And you're going to find that you get a lot farther 3 months from now than if you kept everything out in the stratosphere and you just feel like your hair's on fire and you feel overwhelmed all the time. It can totally be done and you can do it. So make this time just a time to, this will be a gift that you give yourself if you really sit down and do it. And you can do it, like I said, with any area of your life, and you will find that you will feel so much less overwhelmed at the end of the exercise. Okay. And so I would say break it into chunks, look at 3 months at a time. And then you can do the first 3 months of the year, and then you can do it again if you want to for the next 3 months of the year, and then the next, and then you'll move yourself along and just look at things that you need. Maybe you need to outsource things. Maybe you need to get your family to help you. Maybe you need to get, chore charts going for the kids, your husband needing to do these things. Maybe you find that you just need a little bit of time, like for yourself. You need time in the day to have for yourself to work out. Work out a time with your husband that you can go to the garage or you can go to the gym, whatever it is, because those are the things that will help to pull you forward and not keep you stuck. 3 months from now, you can be in a much different place and position in your life if you do the things that will actually pull you forward in your life and in your day. And remember, and I said this yesterday too, our moments make up our days. So like your moments are the decisions you make in your day, every day. If you decide that today counts, no matter what, today moves you. And so today counts, that is a moment for you, and your moments make up your days. And then your days make up your life. The days are what's making up these next 3 months for you. So make your days count. And we make our days count by making our moments count, by putting things on paper and then creating and stacking the evidence that you can do it, and get really clear about your goals and what you need to do, and then just do it. Just move forward. That's all you got to do. Don't make it harder than it is. Okay. So that's the exercise. That's what I would love for you to spend some time in and to really do. Give yourself 45 minutes, give yourself an hour, and just do it. And I know we have some clients here. And so girls, if you do it and you feel like, okay, this is helpful, I want to hear the feedback. And even if you're not a client, like give me the feedback, send me a message and let me know. And just kind of see, and maybe, it being like the second week of the year, you can already see some holes of things that you're like, okay, I said I was going to do that and I'm already fallen off. So maybe that's not like a good strategy for me. Maybe I need a different strategy. Maybe just saying I'm going to eat healthy, but not actually like meal prepping or putting, making the list of actually what you're going to eat every night for dinner. Maybe that's what you need. Maybe you need to take it a step further. So take a look at that and decide what you need to do to actually put things on paper to get your feet moving so that you can actually accomplish your goals. And you will find that you are so much happier, you are so much more confident, and you are moving forward in your days, which means you're moving forward in your life, which means you are happy and you are reaching your goals. Okay. So that concludes our masterclass of the day. I am so glad you're here. Thank you so much for coming. If you're watching the recording, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I so appreciate it. I hope that this is helpful for you, that it kind of gets you thinking, and that it gets you excited to literally move forward this year. Leave the things behind that just didn't serve you, that didn't work. Take them as lessons, and then say, I'm moving forward, and hit the trail and get going. Okay. Love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you need anything, reach out and we will be happy to help you out and support you. All right. See y'all later. Thank you. Hi, Terry. Always love live calls. Thank you. Me too. Love them. All right. See y'all later.